Hello everyone, this is Donna coming to you again. Today I wanted to talk about my 1 week update on One Book July 2016. If you'll recall, I'm using a field note size traveler's notebook for this year. The smallest one I've ever used. This is in a field note traveler's notebook that I made myself. And it is, the first insert is where I keep my grocery lists, purchases I've made, any notes about medical appointments, etc. That's very common for me to do in previous months, so this flow was very natural in One Book July. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time on that insert. I do want to talk about the next insert. Let's see if I can find it. Here we go. This is the month of July. In it, I put the month spread, a month on 2 pages. Now, just as a reminder, these pages are 5.5 tall and 3.5 wide per sheet. So that's 3.5, 3.5, and 5.5. So here is the month of July on a 2-page spread, which has worked out very nicely. Then I went into my 2 days per page format in the field notes notebook. You can see here are the first 4 days of July. Here are the second 4 days of July. And I'm going to take you up through Sunday here, because for me the week starts on Monday. So that's what I'll be talking about today. Any coloration that you see here will have been done prior to my use of the book on 1 July. And I did use my new find, my Papermate Ink Joy. This is a 0.5 in blue for this month. So this is a newfound friend. So let's talk about the first couple of days. Here, everything looks kind of normal. You see a few little bright spots. Over here, things really got busy on this 4-day spread. And it became too busy for my eye to quickly pick up on tasks and items. I think, all blue, and it was all in kind of crunched in, and there are arrows going all over the place, and it just became visually distracting for me. Had I not decorated quite so much on the pages prior to the month starting, I would have had more room. So that's one lesson I learned, is do not decorate prior to One Book July in a small size traveler's notebook. Excuse me, I had to get a sip of something to drink. This year also, Carrie Harling, Miss Vicky B, and Romany gave a second challenge to One Book July participants. They could do either A, regular routine planning, or B, project planning. I noticed that many have chosen the project. I chose the option A, to do just regular routine planning, because that is what I need most. Last year, the use of one pen gave me a challenge. This year, it has not done so. Overall, I think the format has gone well, so that's a positive. But the lesson I learned, or the challenges that I had, was this notebook is too much of a chunky monkey for my taste. You have to put a lot of extra things in it for the use in One Book July. The premise is everything you're going to use during the month is right here in your notebook. So I was stuffing a lot of extra things to have at the hand when I needed them. It became too chunky. I don't like it that chunky. By using the 2-day per page format that I've discovered is to my best advantage, excuse me, another sip. It didn't leave me a lot of room per day to document. Also, had I done less decorating, as I said, it would have given me a little more space. Were I to use this notebook again, let's say one book July 2017, if I were to use this size notebook, I would do 1 page per day. But I'll tell you, I think I've become spoiled because I sort of looked at that format thinking, okay, it's only 1 week, I'll make a change and do 1 day per page for the rest of the month. But in looking at it, I have become accustomed to seeing several days on a 2-page spread. And I didn't think I would like it. So I decided not to change. I'm going to continue on with this format. My handwriting is large. I've tried to condense it. Not easy for me to do. And I also had to use a lot of sticky notes for extra things, especially for these days, that I needed to keep track of, but didn't have the space to document. And the sticky notes kept getting in the way and obliterating other things, and it was like, this is getting too annoying for me. So that is my lesson learned for the first week. Wrong format for me because it's not giving me enough space. But this being my preferred format, in the future I would not choose a traveler's notebook this small. My hands are clapping for all of you who do one book July in this size notebook. Not a lot has changed over here. I did want to take you to the journaling page. If you'll remember, this is little Miss Kitty, and she's sort of dressed like a marm. The journaling has gone well. This was done prior to, sort of as a prologue. I had this stuck in the notebook, so I was able to use it. This month I'm journaling all about happiness. What is it? How do we get it? How do we use it? What will it do for us? What won't it do for us? What will it do for others, etc.? So you can see, I did stick in a couple of things because they happened to be there. I did a couple of drawings. This was in the notebook. These pages, by the way, are really nice paper. They're made overseas, but they're glued, and the pages have started coming out. So you can see here, I was talking about the glass of water. Is it half full or half empty? And over here is the 4th of July. But things sort of all run together when you're using nothing but an ink pen and just journaling, journaling, journaling. So I tried to jazz it up as much as I could with what I had on hand in my notebook. Let's get on over here. See how boring that looks? Good information. Now these are some stickers I had in my notebook that turned into make nice highlighters, so I used those. These are some little Japanese stickers. Again, I cut another couple of boring pages. I tried to change up some lettering. I drew just a quick sketch of going up a mountain. So you can see, and you can see I have not documented for the month of July, the 10th of July, I should say the 10th and the 11th. But I will do so. So here it is. The pages are wanting to come out. Wonderful notebook, great paper, just not a good one for journaling. Let me put it that way. So, this is Donna giving you a recap about the lessons learned. Let's recap on what I'm thinking. The Traveler's Notebook, field note size, is far too much of a chunky monkey for me to use for one book in July. Number 2, the format of 2 days per page in the small Traveler's Notebook is insufficient for the amount of documenting and tracking I need to do. Were I to do it again in the future, I would use 1 page per day format, and that would work. However, it does not give me the advantage of instantly seeing a 4-day spread on 2 pages, to which I have become accustomed. Number 3, do not decorate so much in advance. Do that as you go, because you can first make your documentation work, and then you make your decoration work around that. So, we're on into week 2, folks. I want to see all those videos out there and what you've done for week 1 and what you will have done for week 2. This is Donna signing off, coming at you again later. In the meantime, have a great one book July week.